Alright guys, welcome back to another video on the Planet Football YouTube channel, and we're back for another game of football tic-tac-toe. As things stand, both me and Sam have won an episode, so I suppose it all comes down to this. Sam, how are you feeling going into this one?
Well, we've just mentioned off camera how long the last episode took to film with us struggling to fill the grids. So hopefully it'll go a bit better. I'm hoping for that, but I'm excited to jump into it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. If you guys think you can do better than us in the comments down below as well, make sure to do that. But yeah, let's just jump in. Alright, so this is the first grid that we've got to work with. I feel like some sections are definitely easier than others. If you've watched the previous iterations of this series, then you'll know the play that I'm going to go for straight away. Slap bang in the middle. He's a legend of this series. It's Jan Kermigan.
I wondered if that one was going to come back up again. I did wonder when we saw that. Nice start. I don't know where to go from here. You playing it in the middle feels like a defensive
Yeah,
start,
it is a bit.
It does mean that you can go anywhere. You know what? I will start in the top left, and I am going to go with Robert Pires.
I mean, it's got to be a corner from here. I'm going to go bottom left. I'll go for Iwobi. Keep it ticking over there.
Okay, it goes for Iwobi, which then puts me a little bit on the back foot. So I've got to think about Aston Villa players who have won the Europa League. Now, I feel like won the Champions League might actually be an easier question there, but it's the Europa League.
Yeah, I've got to get thinking about this.
Has Emery brought anyone with him? That's my question. The player I've got in my head right now is Felipe Coutinho, because I seem to think Liverpool got to a Europa League final a few years back, but I can't remember if he was in it. Ross Barkley. Was he in that Chelsea squad that won the Europa League?
Ooh.
He might be. I'm going to go with it.
Yes! Oh, that's a great shout. That is an absolutely great shout. And now I need to get this Bournemouth Aston Villa one. Damn, yeah, that's a very good shout. I was thinking Pau Torres, would he have won one maybe?
Yeah, that's what I had Pau Torres' name in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one I was thinking of. Right, Bournemouth Aston Villa. I may have had a breakthrough. Okay. Unless I am mistaken, I feel like a certain Tyrone Mings might have played for both of those, which he did. I feel like that's the obvious one.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
he's just been at Villa for so long now that you don't really think of his career before that. But yeah, I think he's got to be the most obvious one. So I'm glad that we've got there eventually.
Yeah. I love how you included me with the we there. Really good, even though. Right, I have got quite a quick one to this one because I thought about it then when you were doing it. Asmir Begovic played for Everton and Bournemouth as well. Another former Chelsea player. So apparently if they've played in London at some point in their career, I can name them.
Yeah, that's a good shout, and it feels like we are heading towards a stalemate here, unless this middle line works out a little different. Or I suppose that Europa League line as well. Still a couple of chances to win here.
You could block me off from winning entirely.
Yeah, a Leicester player that's won the Europa League.
Just to pile the pressure on you, I do have a Leicester player who's won the Europa League.
Oh, damn it. Right, so I really need to get this one then.
I might have two, actually, but I've definitely got one.
Right, I've got an obvious one now. That has just clicked in my brain of who won the Europa League this year. Yeah, we'll go James Maddison in that line.
God damn it.
I was thinking back to, like, has Cambiasso won the Europa League? Have these niche players won it? And then, yeah, didn't even come to my mind that, of course, Spurs won it this year.
Arsenal Leicester player. That is a tough one, I think. Yeah, I'm gutted you got that James Maddison one because that was the one I had in my head. I also thought of Danny Drinkwater as well, and maybe Kante got it for Chelsea.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe there was those two. Makes it a little bit more difficult to go for Arsenal Leicester players.
I feel like I've got one in mind for this, but I don't know if it'll work. But I don't know if it'll work, though, because I know this player was at both clubs, but I'm not sure if he made an appearance for one of them, which may not work on the technicality.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So I'm either losing or it's a draw. Um, so let me have a think. Let me rack my brain. This is well hard, this one. This is genuinely the one that I looked at on the grid and went, I do not know who that would be. That is
Yeah.
genuinely the one that I am stuck on. I'm trying to think if anyone's been out on loans, but my knowledge of loans isn't particularly good. I might have to, unfortunately, I genuinely might have to skip this one. I think you've got me stumped, and I think you've got me. And I think there's someone really obvious that I can't think of, but yeah, I'm going to skip. I should
See,
have.
my one isn't obvious. I don't
Yeah.
think anyway. The player that I've got in mind is Steffi Mavididi, who I feel like came up through the Arsenal academy, played at Leicester.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does work as well,
No.
Steffi. I thought he came up through the Arsenal academy, but I couldn't remember if it was there or maybe I knew it was one of the London clubs. But yeah we'll take that.
Well played. Very, very well played. I'll give you that. That was really, really well played. Let's move on to the next one then. And this is looking like an interesting board, to say the least.
Ooh.
I think I can
Yes.
get quite a few of these, but I mean, as Mr. Championship over there, you might have have a bit of an advantage on me here. So there's definitely one row that I'm going to stick to.
Yeah, you've got an advantage there for sure.
Yeah, there is an advantage to that one. So I know I can do that right-hand side almost definitely. Now it's just where I can place players elsewhere is the question. You know what? I'm going to choose your route, and I'm going to go slap bam in the middle and leave it open to me. And I'm going to go with Chris Wood.
Oh yeah, nice.
He's a very good answer.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that I had in mind for that. I feel like my tactics here is to lock off at least one of the Chelsea lines so you can't win on that, and then I can sort of look to go elsewhere maybe. So I will go in that case. Oh, where do I want to go? The Forest line or played in La Liga? I'll go on the Forest line. I'll go for Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done. That was the one that was stuck in my head, of course. From this time around. Now, where do I go with this? I have a Burnley Southampton player in my head. I'm not sure you would have the same one in my head. In my head? In your head?
I'm in your head.
You already are. I'm not sure you'd have the same one, but you've probably got one. And that's my concern. Also, if I go with the Chelsea one, in the top right, the Chelsea La Liga one, and then you get the Nottingham Forest one, that means I then have to pull a Nottingham Forest Leeds player out. And that is probably a harder one to go with. So I'm going to go with a man that I've mentioned quite a few times in this video and go with Danny Drinkwater. I didn't realise he was going to come up so much.
I feel like this is the most strategy we've ever put into this game ever. We're thinking ahead of where to go now. We've come on a lot since the first episode. So I need to get a Southampton Burnley player. I feel like I do have one in my head. I'm trying to think if there are any others. The one that I have in my head is a Mr. Charlie Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good shout.
Who did you have interest?
Maxwell Cornet. I think he was at Southampton.
Ah, yeah.
Good shout. Yeah, so that's who I had. So we go back kind of to a bit of an open board here, but I still don't want to go for that Chelsea one in the top left unless I can top right, unless I can think of a Leeds Forest player to go with. How else can I heap the pressure on? That is the question. You know what? Oh, God. Actually, yeah, I will do that. I am going to go with played in La Liga and Leeds United, and I'm going to go with Junior Firpo.
Oh, yes. Very nice shout. So you put me on the back foot here for a Leeds Forest player. Oh, I feel like this should be doable. Leeds and Forest, who have they had over the years? Annoyingly, Chris Wood would work for this one as well, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, he would, yeah. Why do you think about that? Yeah.
Who else has been at Leeds and Forest. There's got to be a few from the Championship days. Oh, I've either completely made this up or this guy played like 5 games maybe for Nottingham Forest back in the day when he was washed. But I feel like Ross McCormack, when he was completely over the hill, might have had like a very short stint at Forest. And he definitely played for Leeds. So I'm going to go with Ross McCormack.
Oh,
yes,
man.
it does work
some
as
of these
well.
Names, when you come out with some of these names, I have forgotten who these people are. And then all of a sudden you name someone and I'm like, yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah, he was unbelievable at Leeds, and then I think it was right at the back end of his career he might have played a few games for Forest.
Now, I've really got to think about this hard now. Because I know you know a Chelsea La Liga player, so I can't put you on the back foot in any way, shape or form. Really, I need to get. I've somehow blown this already. I need to get Forest Southampton. Forest Southampton. See, again, this is where that knowledge of the lower divisions or the lower division will help, because I imagine there's been transfers like there's no tomorrow between those two teams. I'm trying to think of goalkeepers, because goalkeepers would make sense. Like, so here's my decision. So I have a player which I know has played for Southampton, but I don't think has played for Nottingham Forest. But I'm not sure, because I've kind of gone down that route I was thinking of. But the other thing I could do is go Chelsea La Liga and then try and hopefully, if you've not got a Southampton Nottingham Forest, which you probably have, but if you haven't, on the off chance, make you scramble a little bit more for Southampton La Liga. But I can think of quite a few Southampton La Liga players off the top of my head. So I'm in a bit of a predicament. I'm going to go with... Oh, do I just go with it? No, I'm going with the Chelsea one. I genuinely don't know if that would be a correct answer at all. So I'm going to go with Cesc Fabregas, and hopefully you don't know it.
Yeah, Southampton Forest. So no one has come to my mind yet, but I feel like there's got to be. I'm thinking the period I should be thinking of is like Forest days back in the Championship.
Mm-hmm. I swear to God, if you pull out another name that I've not thought of in 10 years, I'm going to be gutted. I hate it when you do that. It's so annoying. I will say I'm a little bit gutted. Like earlier on, I didn't go for La Liga Southampton because there's like quite a few that I can think of now. And I'm a little bit gutted that I've left it to this point. But I don't know how I'm like in a 2-1 position here and I'm still going to lose.
Yeah, this is an interesting board, how this has worked out.
Yeah, I love how you said, oh, this has been strategical, and we've still ended up in this position.
I might go Southampton played in La Liga and then give you this one back, and if you're right with it, then fair enough, and then someone might have come to me by that point if you can't think of anyone. No. That's where my current brain's at. I will go Southampton played in La Liga, and I'll go Toby Alderweireld.
I knew you were going to go for that. That's so annoying because we discussed him in recent weeks.
I wouldn't have got that without that video as well.
I know.
Completely forgot about his stint at Southampton.
I mean, you could have had Gareth Bale, but yeah.
True, there are probably a few that work for that, aren't there?
Yeah, that was... As soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh, I've messed up here. Why do these things keep coming back to bite me? Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip. I honestly, I can't.
You're not even having a punt.
I might just go with. I had Alex McCarthy in my head. In my head. I know he played for Southampton. I could imagine him at some point being a backup keeper for Forest. So I'm just going to type him in and take a punt, just on the off chance. But it's not correct. I know it's not, but I just...
Oh, you've given it back to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that.
Have I just completely imagined this? Or has James Ward-Prowse been on loan at Forest? Where did he move? Did he move to West Ham? And I feel like there might have been a spell at Forest there. I'm going to go for it. I've got no... The only other player that I had in my mind was Ricky Lambert, but I feel like he never had a stint at Forest, did he? So I'm going to go James Ward-Prowse. And it does... I can't believe neither of us got that sooner. That is shocking from both of us.
That was the one that I literally went, oh no. I literally had his name written down, and I was like, oh, he might have played for Forest this year. Oh my god. That is so annoying. Well played that you got it, but oh my god.
It's because he's played so few matches, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
he's had like such an insignificant role, really. But
Yeah, he played 9
soon as-
matches for Forest. 10 matches for Forest.
All right, well, there we have it. 2-0 in this week's video. But Sam, I'm sure you'll be back eventually. You'll want to get a bit of revenge on this one, surely, after that James Ward-Prowse shout.
You know, the worst thing, right, is every morning I will sit and play a game and make sure after the Jan Kermigan shout, I was like, I need to up my knowledge on these. And then I've bottled it. That's all I can say. I have bottled it, but very well played. Very well played, Ben. Very well played.
I'm sure we'll be back in good time with another one of these. If you guys did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe if you are new around here. We'll see you all next week. Catch you then.